Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So today we are going to talk about what President John F. Kennedy could teach President Trump if he was still here. Because there's a really important lesson that President Trump has yet to learn. And it would benefit the entire world, certainly the country, if he did. And President Kennedy understood this lesson. He could definitely teach it. He displayed it his entire life. That he had this concept down. Have you ever watched President Trump and Dr. Fauci at that podium together? Let's be honest. Fauci looks like he's just had a burlap bag taken off his head and he's about to hold up a newspaper. He doesn't look incredibly comfortable with some of the stuff that gets said by his counterpart. It's a case study in the Dunning Kruger effect. You've got one guy with no subject matter expertise whatsoever, who is supremely confident in his answers that are typically wrong. And then you got another guy who's one of the foremost experts in the world, and he's like, well, I don't know, it's complicated. It's complicated. He doesn't often give these super confident answers. They're always qualified by, if this, then that, because he understands the subject more. If you're not familiar with this concept, you might look at one of these briefings and think that Trump actually has a better grasp on it. It's not the case. Kennedy, from a very, very early point in his career, before he was ever in politics, understood that he may not always be the best person to make the decision. He doesn't need to be the center all the time. When he was in the Navy, he had his boat literally ripped in half by a Japanese ship. And him and his crew wind up in the water. And he's like, I got nothing to lose, guys. But some of y'all have families. What do y'all want to do? And he let them decide. And you can't chalk that up to him being weak or indecisive. He proved his entire career that's not who he was. It's not like he didn't have courage or guts. I mean, after the decision was made, he went on to tow a wounded man as he was swimming by a strap in his teeth. He's definitely somebody that was always a leader. Even if you didn't agree with him, you have to admit he was a leader. See, one of my favorite Kennedy quotes is one that doesn't get enough attention, in my view, because it displayed his character a little more than people may think. He went to France, brought his wife with him, and the French, they loved her, Jacqueline Kennedy. They just adored her, doted on her. I mean, come on, why not? I mean, of course you would. When he introduced himself there, he said, I am the man who accompanied Jacqueline Kennedy to Paris, and I have enjoyed it. He didn't refer to himself as the president, leader of the free world, any of that stuff, because he knew what people were focused on. He knew what was important to the people that he was speaking to. And yeah, it was a joke in a way. He was wearing his power lightly, and it was humorous. But at the same time, it was an acknowledgement that he wasn't the most important person in the room. Not as far as most people were concerned. We're at a point where the president, in this situation, has made the wrong decision over and over and over and over again. Nobody really cares what he has to say. I mean, except for those that are part of his base that just he can do no wrong. And the idea that, people want to hear about the economics. Most people understand that we were on the verge of this recession because of his economic policies before this ever happened. We've talked about it on this channel. You can go back. There's timestamps. Nobody believes, no rational person believes, that Trump is going to oversee a V-shaped recovery. It's incredibly unlikely. When people tune in, they want to hear from the experts. They want to hear from the people that know what's happening. President Trump, you are the man who accompanies Dr. Fauci to the podium. Nothing more. You don't matter in those briefings. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good night.